Hi, I'm Armstrong. I was just sitting in my office and I was sitting here talking to Anthony, and we were just having a discussion. And I said, um, I need to talk about this to a larger audience. And what is it that I want to talk about? We write about all these issues: healthcare, Afghanistan, the crisis with employment in this country and creating jobs. But when you think about healthcare and what's really wrong with this country and why it seems that America is going through what I call the Great Recession. It's a phrase that I coined. I was thinking about the values from the Great Depression that my parents talked about often, where we were fortunate to grow up in a middle class farming family where food and clothing and shelter was never an issue. In fact, my parents were blessed to pay for the college tuition for all my brothers and sisters that wanted to go to college. And we did not have any debt when we graduated. And as I fast forward to where I am in life today, and I think about the close relationships that I have, many of these families are doing quite well in the marketplace. I mean, um, they have several cars, they take luxurious vacations, they have unlimited lines of credit, and so the economy really does not impact them. But if you think about our kids, our nieces, and our nephews, they're sort of getting mixed signals from this economy. On the one hand, we say that the economy is tough. We need to save. We need to become fiscal, conservative, financial literate, and to cut back. And then on the other hand, we have the Obama White House telling our young kids and our nieces and nephews and family friends that everything is okay. Take your credit cards and go out and spend. And so it's sort of like mixed signals. When we were growing up on the family farm, when our farming neighbors could not have enough food on the table, they would always come to our house. And while my brothers and sisters and I would eat less, everybody shared in the meal, and everybody left the table with a pretty good, fulfilling stomach. People don't know about sacrifice today, and I don't know whether or not uh, the fact of how our kids are being raised and the many things and the many options that they've had, whether it's a double-edged sword, because they don't know much about sacrifice, they don't know much about discipline, and they don't know much about going without. And we need to get back to those values of the Great Depression as we go through this Great Recession. And maybe this Great Recession is not a bad thing. What it will force us to do is go back and rethink about faith in God, discipline. And when I think about faith in God, when we were growing up, we had to go to church every Sunday. We had to pay tithes. We had to give to the church. And why? Because we realized that there were many families that did not have as much as we had. So we believed in charity. We believed in community work. We believed in giving back, and not something that the government needed to tell us to do. We just knew from our Christian principles and teachings that's what we were to do, those who were blessed with a little more. And so many of us have been fortunate in life. And so it really boils down to our family values, what we believe in, and the sacrifices that we were willing to make, not just during the tough times, but during the good times. We have to store a little, hibernate a little, and set it back because we never know what tomorrow is going to bring. And today, many people just don't understand sacrifice. They don't understand discipline and what it takes to have generational wealth. And you have to sustain your values. You got to have something greater than wealth, something greater than materialism that you need to believe in. I'm Armstrong Williams. It's just something for you to think about.